Hey, this is Bennett, and you're watching Melodification, where I take a Scruggs tune and teach you how to melodify it. This week we're doing the popular tune, Bugle Call Rag. Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. So in this version of Bugle Call Rag, I want to teach a concept that I've been practicing a lot lately, and it's called Motivic development. What that means is I'm taking an idea, a simple idea such as that ascending scale pattern, and I'm doing that same figure in different chords. So I'm starting on this D note, for example, in the D scale, over the D chord, and then when I get to the G chord, I'm starting on the G note and doing that same scale pattern, but in the key of D. So I'm kind of like thinking of it in different keys as I go along in the song. And then in C, and then in G again. And it doesn't have to be a scale pattern like that. It could be as simple as so you can take that G lick and then move it up to C and then move it down to D, and you can do it in a variety of different keys. So closed position stuff really works well, but what I'm doing in this song is taking different phrases and trying to work them into the song in a musical way to build the solo. So I start out with that triplet lick, and then I slide into my C chord. Just C chord positions. And then I do that same lick, And then I wanted to develop it a little bit more. So instead of doing, which would totally work. I mean, technically you could go down, you could go up. You know, you could do that all day, but I wanted to build it into a different phrase. So I went. And that's when I went into a little bit different melody there. So I built that D lick. I'm still using positions here. So D seventh, that's the bar chord position, and that's the first inversion position. And then I did a descending C minor scale, because it has that E flat, which I think is a really nice note to play in the context of a D chord. It's the flat 9 of the D chord, which, if you're a member of my membership site, you'll be learning about alterations and different chords you can put in there that create more tension. And the 9th chord, or the flat 9 chord, is one of those chords. So that's where the E flat comes into play. And then I hit that B. That's a target tone that lands on the G chord. That's a 3rd of the chord. So I'm aiming for that note. And then I'm doing that lick, which uses alterations as well. So if I'm thinking about it, like this is a G chord, but my next chord is a C chord, the G is a 5 of the C chord. So that means I can alter it in a way to create more tension. And you hear that over the guitar. It's rhythmic. Rhythmic tension is building, but also harmonic tension, because I'm playing that B flat and that B together, and then I'm also playing the A flat and the B, and then that 7th note comes in there and leads me to that C. So there's that tension and release that happens. Standard melodic style stuff. And then to continue that E flat motif a little bit. So I'm going D up a fret to get that E flat in there, and then I'm doing, you can see that shape is actually a C minor, and then I'm moving it down to the D and the C to resolve me back to the D. So that lick is syncopated, so there's rhythmic tension and also harmonic tension once again. And you'll notice that I'm doing that when I'm leading to a 1 chord, or when I need to resolve to a chord. So when I'm resolving to a G chord, I think of the D chord as the altered chord, or as the dominant, the functional dominant chord. Continuing on, I play that. And then I do a 7th chord lick, so I know I'm going to the C chord, so I play a G7th lick starting on the 7th tone, F natural. All chromaticism there. And then some more stock melodic stuff. And this is where we get into that Motivic improvisation and building concept. So I'm taking that. And I am doing little licks in between to get me to the starting points for the chords. So I'm using that ba, 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 da, and that's the beginning of my G chord. And then I'm using that like bo bo da bo de bo da da bo da. And that C chord works really nicely. You notice I'm using a note in the key of C, the F natural. And then G. And then when I'm getting up to that G chord, I wanted to stop doing that phrase, so I did chromatic. And then this is an A minor shape, but what I'm doing is I'm moving the middle tone, so I'm moving that A down the scale basically. So A, G, F sharp, and then that E flat enters once again, which creates a D7 flat 9 chord, and then down the C minor scale again. And then I end it with that Alison Brown-esque lick. A lot of chromaticism in that. I encourage you to practice this in several different keys. You know, even taking a song like Bugle Call Rag and do it in D. You know, the harmonics are right here. You know, so you've got that, you know, 4 chord. It starts out with the 4 chord and then goes to the 1. So I'm leading to the G chord. Something like that. So I'm not using the same intervals over every chord, but I'm using that same phrase. And you can explore different possibilities with scales and chords, and there's just so many options. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new, please subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll see you next week for a new video.